Hello everyone, welcome to Success Mantra by Fintax Consultancy. Your growth is our business. So we are back with our new video on GST, that is Goods and Service Tax. So let's start the video. Taxes, confusing, right? But GST was introduced to simplify all that. So what exactly is GST? GST stands for Goods and Service Tax. It's comprehensive destination-based indirect tax that levied on supply of goods and services across India. It came into effect on 1st July 2017 and it was a game changer. Before GST, we had a jungle of indirect taxes: VAT, service tax, excise duty, luxury tax, and many more. Each had its rule, rates, and compliance headaches. GST replaces all of these with one unified tax system. Now, whether you are buying a pen or booking a hotel or a GST applies, and it's the same across most of the states. GST is a destination base, which means the tax goes to the state where the goods and services are consumed, not where they are actually produced. This will help to promote fairness and balance in revenue distribution. Alright, now let's look at the big picture. This slide shows that GST truly stands for One Nation, One Tax. Before GST, every state had its own tax rules. There were multiple layers of indirect taxes, some charged by center, some charged by the states. It was messy, confusing, and often lead to double taxation. But with GST, all of that changed. We now have a single unified tax system that applies across the country, whether you are in Mumbai, Chennai, or Guwahati. Now that we know GST is a unified tax, let's break it down into three key components, each with a specific role. First one is CGST, that is Central Goods and Service Tax, which is levied by central government and applies to intra-state transactions when goods or services are sold within the same state and its revenue goes to center. Next one is SGST, that is State Goods and Service Tax, which is levied by state government and also applied to intra-state transactions. The revenue goes to respective state government. So, when a sale happened within the state, say Maharashtra, both CGST and SGST are charged and shared between center and state. Next one is IGST, that is Integrated Goods and Services, which is levied by central government, applies to interstate transactions when goods and services move from one state to another. Also applies to import and export. The central collects IGST and later distributes the shares to the respective destination states. Quick recap: interstate transactions, then IGST applies, and intrastate transactions, then CGST and SGST will apply. This structure ensures fair revenue sharing and smooth tax administration across India. Let's now talk about GSTR1, the first and most fundamental GST return. Purpose: GSTR1 is used to report all outward supplies. That means all sales made by registered taxpayer, whether you are selling a goods or providing services. This return captures the details. Applicability: if your annual turnover is above rupees 1.5 crore, you must file it monthly. If it's turnover 1.5 crore or below, you can file it quarterly. What does it include? Invoice-wise details of all taxable outward supplies. This includes B2B, B2C, exports, and even credit or debit notes. It helps the government to track sales and enables buyer to claim input tax credit. In short, GSTR1 is a fundamental of GST compliance. It ensures transparency and smooth flow of credit in the system. Now, let's look at the GSTR2B, your go-to form for tracking your purchase and claiming input tax credit. Purpose: GSTR2B is auto-generated statement that shows all inward supplies, that is purchase made by a taxpayer. It based on the data filed by your suppliers in their GSTR1. Applicability: it's available to all registered taxpayers and updated in real time as suppliers file their GSTR1. helps you to match your purchase record and claim accurate ITC. What does it include? Details of inward supplies, goods and services you have received, credit note and debit note issued by suppliers, helps you to identify mismatches and avoid wrongful ITC claims. In short, GSTR2B is your ITC dashboard. It ensures you are claiming only what's eligible and keeps our GST filing clean and compliant. Let's now talk about GSTR3B, the return where the real actions happens. This is the form where you summarizes your monthly GST activity and actually pay your taxes. Purpose: GSTR3B is a monthly summary return that captures total sale, that is outward supplies, your total purchases, that is inward supplies, tax liabilities, and input tax credit claim. It is applicable to all regular taxpayers, filed monthly and regardless of turnovers. What does it include? Summary of all sales and purchases, ITC claim under CGST, SGST, and IGST. Final tax payable after adjusting ITC. In short, GST3B is your tax payment return. It's where you declare your liability and pay the GST dues. Now that we have seen each return individually, let's compare them side by side to understand their unique roles in GST compliance. Types: GSTR1 is a sales report. It captures all outward supplies. GSTR2B is a purchase report. It's auto-generated based on your supplier's filings. GSTR3B is a summary return. It consolidates your monthly tax position. Next one is filing mode. GSTR1 and GSTR3B are filed manually by the taxpayers. GSTR2B is auto-generated. You don't file it, you use it. Data format. GSTR1 and GSTR2B are invoice-wise. They shows detailed transactions. GSTR3B is consolidated, a summary of total. Next one is tax claims. GST1 does deal with ITC. GSTR2B is your reference for eligible ITC. GSTR3B is where you actually claim the ITC. Reconciliation rule. GSTR1 feeds data into GSTR2A and helps to reconcile with GSTR3B. GSTR2B helps you to cross-check purchase and match suppliers data. GSTR3B is a final step. You declare your tax liability and claim ITC. Common threads. All three returns are a part of a single compliance cycle. They ensure that your sales, purchase, and tax payments are aligned and transparent. Together, they make GST compliance smooth, accurate, and efficient. For more queries and assignment, you can reach out to us on below details. And that's a wrap on complete video on GST. Stay compliant and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Success Mantra by Fintech Consultancy. Thank you.